So I was just watching a bunch of my videos and they're just all over the place. It's a big, huge, long story. But I just want to make this video. The bottom line of all my videos, I hope that somebody would see the theme if they follow my story and have watched them, is that I have had a lot of talents. I have a lot of brilliant ideas. I was very good at starting businesses. All I want is to get better. All I want is to get better. All I've been trying to fight for is to get better. All I've been trying to beg my family to do is get better. All I've been begging these churches to do is to help me get through this so I can get better. Morgellons is a sign of your body clearing some massive disease. A lot of people keep their chronic disease, but then when it gets this bad, you can't anymore. I was lucky in a sense that the medical industry denied me from the get-go and ignored all my symptoms because it forced me to have to treat things nutritionally. I am going to make a more sane video, but my situation is extremely frustrating. Most people in my situation at this point just would have offed themselves a long time ago. But I'm not suicidal. I've just been really, really ill. That's the whole thing. I fight hard. I fight for my life. I am fighting hard for my life. I always have been, and this is what I've been trying to tell them. And nobody's wanted to believe me. I have way too much thyroid in my system because my thyroid's probably been screwed up. The fact that, it was low because of everything else, because of all these infections, the other things going wrong with me. And, the community health there, she wouldn't even investigate some serious illnesses. She didn't believe me. Maybe because I'm healthy, maybe because I take good care of myself, but still I was gaining a lot of weight. Well, I probably shouldn't have picked a doctor that was extremely obese anyways. It's just that I was naive to the medical industry, and I was told she was a good doctor. Yeah. Anyways, morgellons is your body killing off pathogens and clearing the stuff that doesn't belong there. It is a sign of healing, and I've been shamed and criticized for not receiving my healing or this and that. This is a healing process. We are physical people. This is a physical process of healing. It has to be pushed out of your skin. This video is really not sane. It's just because of my thyroid problems. I'm completely sane. The only way I've been psychologically affected towards the end of this is just the medical industry more than anything, and then your family and your community. Churches being part of the community, or should be anyways. I don't know. Maybe I can get shot of my freaking horrible top of my head, which I had 15 years of horrible, disfiguring skin stuff. That went away as my head opened. I know what it's like to clear them and finally have an area of your face like your skin and jaw. My jaw shape has not looked like this. It was always disfigured because of these super deep infections. And I had a tiny bit of a little one here, but with the 5G rollout, I'm, experiencing a lot of weirdness. COVID toes, hello. So anyways, I had COVID toes last night, but not because really my toes were just all numb and tingly. Because they really need to get the thyroid test now. Look at that. Block the light. To prove that I really need to get that test now to prove that my thyroid's all over the place. But Medicaid doesn't cover that, We'd rather throw, people through all these scans that, in my case, make me better in 6 to 8 weeks, and I'm not getting them anymore. We'd rather throw people at all these scans and this and that and all this expensive and useless appointments and treatments, and where it just all becomes completely useless. And in the case of Lyme, they need to be able to treat your thyroid and take a test every week to see what's happening for a couple months. It is a very inexpensive fix. Anyways, all my videos ramble. That's my brain. That's why I'm trying to get treatment and get healed and get support, but I can't find that. And really what I've needed because of these symptoms, what people with chronic fatigue syndrome need, with Lyme disease need, what they need more than anything else is somebody to fight for them. Just a few people to organize a fight for their lives, for the accurate diagnostics and for the Lyme literate care. I have my Western blots in the inclusive range and all of the symptoms. So I have a clinical diagnosis plus diagnosed by a doctor with morgellons, which 6 to 8% of people with chronic Lyme get, and 198 to 100% have been proven under the microscope to have Borrelia. A lot have Bartonella, and then there's also fungal and parasitic things that happen, mold, Aspergillus fumigatus, proving grounds connections because my dad built those. The nuke house turnaround jobs at all of them, and I was born at the most significant one, the premier Project Shad drop right after they got all the money there in Utah. That's where I was born. And this is all coming out of what was a fluctuating bump on top of my head that always got bigger and smaller. And as it opened up, the stuff on the rest of my body cleared, or as the rest of my body cleared, the one in my head finally opened up. My body is begging to get through this. This is a real big, long process because sometimes it involves your body ridding itself of an entire lifetime of illness and growth that result. The medical industry said it was ridiculous and it didn't exist, and basically they've got shingles there. They're not saying that's ridiculous and doesn't exist. They're not saying psoriasis is ridiculous and doesn't exist. Why? Because they don't want people to get to the root causes of their illness. They want to make up all these fake diseases and treat people for chronic illnesses when they could get better. And that is the medical industry in America, and that's the truth. And I don't even remember if I show the top of this horrible morgellon / fungal, Lyme / fungal thing. Also, neglected tropical disease, and a lot of my illness came after Nicaragua. I got sicker after Nicaragua. 85% Angiostrongylis, all over Hawaii. Infectious disease video show basically the process of that, and it is illustrated as trying to come out of this spot. The medical evidence is all there. Why is this denied? Is it because of the proving grounds? Is it because of the Department of Defense? Is that why Lyme was denied? Is that why we have this COVID diversion now? What happened to the TIC Act being signed and that stuff being validated? And millions of lives that are affected being validated. Millions of lives, a quarter of them that will get affected are Lyme now. That's going to grow, of course. So, anyways. I don't want to be ranting. I don't want to be ranting and raving. If just somebody would have fought for me, if my family really would pretended like that my life matters, like the life of their kids matters, and they would have done a benefit when that could have happened, would have been a life changer for me 2 years ago. Now I have to go the slow path. I guess they don't exist to me anymore, which is sad.